Today, I want us to focus on the importance of skilled trade. We need to see more young people getting into the trade industry, plumbing, electrical, carpentry. So, what do you think that the government or institutions, educational institutions, should put in place to develop young people to acquire such skill sets to become contractors, general laborers in the trade industry?
You see, the cornerstone of every development is skill, trades people. Academicians are important, but the people who are the real goat of every development in any part of the world are handy people.
That's true, yeah. I can attest to that, for sure.
Since Africans get to over religion themselves, even the biblical Bible says God help those who help themselves. And Jesus Christ was a carpenter. But I've never seen a table that he made, but he was a carpenter. So how can you not appreciate what carpentry is? And carpenter or carpentry is the source of all constructional engineering structures because it all starts with wood. You know what I mean? All
Yes.
these high scrapers and whatever, without the construction of a woody structure, it will not come to pass. So trade is so important. And Africans way back have been trade people, have been craft people. The pyramids that they want to un-Africanize, the Nubians. In fact, the Nubian is more original in richness of African architectural history than Egypt. But again, we allow people to tell us our story. And even when they were telling it, they make as if Egypt is outside of Africa. Look at the beauty of architecture.
Yes.
You go to Zimbabwe, the wood artistry of images.
Yes.
Those things that were borrowed illegally by our tormentors that are sitting in museums. That's handy people, and there are still people who do those things. Unfortunately, Africans cannot blame anybody again. Even when Africans were genocidally brought across the Atlantic into the New World in America, it was our craftsmanship that developed North American economy. You know what I mean? With whips on our backs. Most of the inventions were created by Africans in the diaspora. And the copyrights were stolen away from them. But we do not talk about those things. See, so in the trades department, most of what the European Revolution was not necessarily a governmental issue. Africans have to depoliticize themselves and don't rely on everything government.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Businesses, if businesses are creating, what government can do is government pass regulations.
Regulations, yeah.
Like in most of Europe, Germany, the Scandinavian, every little thing that someone is studying, there's a paid apprenticeship.
Yeah.
So that question of you don't have experience, it doesn't suffocate you. A young man like you, you've gone to school, studied to become a plumber. You are not connected. So you do not get the practicum, especially courses. That's why co-op courses are very good. Co-op courses that some universities and colleges offer. Most young people get their first job through those ways because they go for a co-op apprenticeship.
Yes.
The employers see their productivity. They're hired. Instead of doing 6 years of study, you come out and say you don't have experience. How do you expect that young person to get experience when you do not give them the offer? But growing up, we had technical schools. I am one of the victims because when you say you want to go to technical school, they say these are the fulumukus. These are these non-smart ones. You know what I mean? Look at here. Look at in North America, Canada, plumbers,
Well, yeah,
electricians.
yeah,
They make money. You know what I
absolutely.
mean? Like every education is important, but
Yeah.
allow people to not just become lawyers or engineers or whatever. Engineers rely on tradesmen so that their academicness will be put on paper. Magnon is a trade person, tool and die. How many African countries even have a course called tool and die? You know what I mean? We had there are talents in Africa. What people lack is a respected institution that train people. This is why if you go to places like Sierra Leone or whatever, people basically self-taught. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes.
So the guest and pioneer, the tools are not there. So yes, trade is very, very important.
You mentioned something that maybe we do have trade schools, but they're not as sophisticated in terms of the training programs, and most people they learn on the job. They learn as apprenticeship.
Unpaid apprentice, they are basically like treated as a nobody. You know what I mean? How can somebody be under somebody's apprenticeship to learn how to drive for 2-3 years? That's nonsense. That's just learning how to drive. These were some of the prerequisites to become
Yes.
a driver. You know what I mean? But teach somebody how to repair a fridge, that cooling system.
Yes.
I have a brother here, that's what he did. I will not call names, but he can repair any fridge. Such people
Wow.
are pioneers. You know what I mean?
So if we have, because the skill trade industry is very vital to Africa, especially if this is going to help us to maintain the things that we purchase from foreign countries, like for example transportation vehicles, right? When we have people who are trained to repair and replace those things, we don't need to outsource or bring somebody else from far away to come in and give us a new one. When we have skilled young men who can fix things that are
And they are
broken.
brainy people. Look, human capital development,
Yes.
education in that area is so key.
Wow. Yeah.
It's
absolutely.
only politicians eat and go who do not understand because they want young people to be used as gangsters or vigilantes. Why they send their own children outside of the country with
Yes.
stolen money. But if those trades are taken serious, computer repairs, electronics, knowing about
Yes.
electronics, you know what I mean? Building. There are people who build fantastic building around Africa. They are not trained.
They just learn.
They learn from, when I say they are not trained, they are not officially trained in an institution or setting
Licensed, yeah.
to be licensed, and associations are not there.
Yes.
But the trades people are there.
They have
When you
they have
travel
it.
along, in fact, most of our artwork that you see, you know that there is talent.
There is.
So trade, technical skills are so important. And we've got you've got engineers, African engineers, who cannot even make a machine to transform lives on making cassava flour. We've been waiting until Chinese start making those machines. You know what I'm saying? So I don't blame them. It's a mindset, but we cannot blame government. It takes all institutions
Yes.
and individuals, because Africa is to survive.
Yes.
We keep talking and pointing on Russia. We say look at how much talent when Africans travel outside of the continent, how they excel. And I always tell people, I say, if Nigeria can get her act together, not just the population, but Nigerians are venturists.
Yes.
They are innovative, they are fearless, and they don't take the BS that most African people take.
Yes.
Especially from our tormentors.
Yes.
But unfortunately, they are also tied into bragados. You know what I mean? But when you look at the innovativeness, you look around the world,
Yes.
in almost every trade and business ventures, you see a progressive, successful Nigerian.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Not that other countries are not whatever, but they stand out.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Not just within Africa, but
Even
around
outside
the
of
world.
Africa, absolutely.
So trade is key. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wish I was a plumber. I wish I knew how to paint, but I don't know how to do that. That's
Yeah.
why I decided to become a comedian so that we
Comedian.
can talk about these things. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Kokofela.